Hello, this is John with Hidden Highways, and doing a series called Journey Talk. So basically where I just go on a little short journey, probably 15 to 20 minutes, and then during that journey I talk about some different subject. And so now when I get my van going again, it might be a little drive someplace, you know, either around town like where I live, or if I happen to be out of town someplace. And then, or it could also be a walk as well, just a short walk, and then or a dog walk or whatever, bicycle if I had a bike. The subject for today is why I like Static CamperVan Scott on the channel called Static CamperVan on YouTube, and just why other people like it in general by extension. So it says van life is something I like to talk about on this channel a lot, and it connects with other subjects. A way to kind of talk about van life is to talk about some other van life channels that I like, which I'll do occasionally. So Scott basically is this, as the title implies, that he's more into doing like city van life. He might go out in the country a little bit, but you know, he's mostly about showing that, you know, you could just like do well in like, you know, van life in like an urban area. I mean, it could be an urban area, although maybe he's going a little more to like smaller towns more, but you know, the same idea is there, you know, that you can that you're not going way out in the woods, you're just trying to stay someplace that's close to where you can work, get supplies, all that kind of stuff. And although now he doesn't have like a regular job, he was in a warehouse for a while, he still like does more like that type of model that's more like based on, you know, street parking someplace, you know. So all right, so I guess the main thing about him is just that why we all like him is most people who watch van life channels, if they're not actually doing it themselves, which is I guess most people, is you like to know that that pathway is available to you. Kind of like there's different pathways in this world, different trails, roads that break off from each other, split off, and then you just like to know that, hey, there's a possibility you could walk down that trail. It's actually his path, that sort of path, the van life path. And you know, you know, there could be a lot of things compelling and interesting a lot, and you may not about it, but you may not ever end up doing that, but you just like to know that it's possible. Well, he makes it look like van life is doable, because as far as I know, he doesn't like hide, like if something bad happens he'll mention it. It's just that the truth is, like for instance, he's been doing it for like 8 years and he's only ever had the dreaded knock, as they call it, one time. So where some of these channels they're talking about all the time, so you wonder if they're really doing something to like cause trouble, to draw that much attention to themselves, or I don't know, maybe some of it is made up, you know, because to get views. But who wants to watch a channel that tries to scare you? You know, it's like, I don't want that, you know. It's like, oh, is van life ending, those type things. So he not to try to just see the world with rose-colored glasses, but I'm just saying he does give you that feeling that you know that you like to have about that, you know, that seems to be pretty accurate for him, that he does have a system that works, that he does know he knows like which towns he goes to and which areas that he hasn't had any trouble. Now the other thing is he doesn't like really, he says he's not into stealth at all, although his thing, when it's closed off, I think his vehicle still looks fairly stealth. So he doesn't have like a bunch of stickers and like a kayak, and you know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could do to be more unstealth. So he is to some degree being stealth, you know, even if he does stuff like, you know, cooks with his door open in the neighborhood or something like that, you know. So, but he doesn't hide it, you know, and he's kind of like not ashamed of it either, and because he seems like he does a good job keeping well dressed and clean and everything, clean shaven looking, not clean, you know, he has a beard, but you know what I'm saying, just like not looking like a homeless person. And it seems like he, you know, has kind of like that confidence where he's like, you know, he kind of feels at home. And he has a few of things he likes to do. He likes to walk a lot, and so that's a repetitive thing he'll do a lot. And he likes to cook a lot in his van, and he's got a pretty good, you know, good setup for doing that and everything. And then of course the coffee, that's one of the main themes that he, you know, because I think we all need, like when we're in some situation like that or whatever, you got to kind of have that one thing that kind of feels, maybe one or two things from the old world that still feels normal, you know, kind of grounds you, where you know, like, okay, And so we're like, okay. And so he puts all that effort into making sure he has a nice cup of coffee wherever he is. Now me, I wouldn't get like real picky about brands or anything like that. Doesn't, because I'm not really like I think he's might be more like, at least in some of those areas, like more like what we call like extroverted sensing person, where they're more into like like he's like, oh, look at the texture of this, or he's like enjoying like holding this thing, and oh, the texture of this, and the cooking and all, just like the experience of kind of touching things and all that. And that probably causes him to be more interested in, like, he might spend like a lot of time talking about like some sort of raincoat that he's going to get, which I might have to skip through some of those parts, because a few of those parts might get a little boring, but for me, but sometimes, but or I might kind of scrub through the cooking, because I get kind of, I'm not into watching cooking videos all that much. I might watch some of it, but so yeah. And so anyway, and he seems like he does mention that, he says that he does talk to a lot of people during the day. He's not just like a hermit, but he doesn't like to show other people on video. So I mean, there's some people they're going to show every person they see during the day, and but but he's not like that. And he just yeah, and he's kind of, I mean, now I like him, but at first maybe I thought, oh, he just kind of seems kind of monotone and boring, but really he's actually just kind of relaxing. He's just got this kind of confidence, and he's actually also got a little bit of like a kind of like subdued kind of sense of humor, where he makes these little jokes or something, like it's kind of, I don't know, like he's like, he might be an acquired taste, but yeah, but he's one of the main guys that I'll usually watch every video that he puts out, because it's usually pretty interesting. And I know a lot of people like him, because they say just because it's kind of like he's just real kind of relaxing to listen to. So anyway, yeah, I guess that's about all I have to say about Static CamperVan. But yeah, so if you haven't watched him, I would check that out, and yeah, he makes it look like it's, like I said, he makes it look like it's, because you like it, because he makes it look like it's real easy to park like anywhere, which is, as far as I know, he's being honest. That's his experience, but he's not, and then yeah, just that it's not like this big stressful thing, which I guess. But if you actually go on your own journey, you can't expect it to maybe be exactly like Scott's. Mileage will vary, as they say. So I guess at that, talk to you guys later.